Welcome to The Real Deal. We're inside the model apartment at 1 Brooklyn Bridge Park, the new luxury condo project that tenants just recently started moving into in the old Jehovah's Witness building. The building, which is the largest industrial to residential conversion in Brooklyn, has incited some controversy. Critics say that luxury housing does not belong in the public park space here, but that has not stopped the building from racking up some of the priciest condo sales in all of Brooklyn. Today we'll talk to the developer of this building about occupancy and sales, and we'll talk to the local city council member about the controversial financial scheme for the park. Let's get going. So talk a little bit about how sales are doing, in face of the economy. We've heard that sales here and elsewhere have slowed down a little, not that they've come to a halt, but how is that affecting you guys?
What we've seen is that buyers are really becoming much more educated, both by themselves, and brokers are working much harder these days to make a sale. So buyers are coming back multiple times, bringing loved ones, trusted friends, to really do their due diligence and understand the market and the building before they make their purchase.
Well, tell us about occupancy. Tenants have just recently started moving in here. How many are actually living in the building, and how is that process going?
We're probably about 40% sold right now. We actually have about 20 to 25 people who have moved in so far.
I want to dive kind of right into the controversy surrounding Brooklyn Bridge Park. Critics of Brooklyn Bridge Park say that it should not be funded through private developers like this one. What is your kind of rebuttal to that?
This building was an industrial building. It's now a residential building that will bring life to the park, to this side of the BQE, to this part of Brooklyn Heights. And, we have taken into account all those things in the design.
Tell us a little bit about the building itself, the amenities, the prices, the price range.
Well, the building has 449 units. Prices range anywhere from the 600,000s up to 7 million or upper 7 millions for the penthouse. We have an on-site concierge and valet, 24-hour doorman, and then we also have traditional amenities such as a 3,000 square foot gym outfitted with techno gym equipment, the same equipment from the Beijing Olympics, a golf simulator, a children's art room, a children's playroom.
But I know that it is in Brooklyn Heights, but it's also separated by the BQE, and so you've got the BQE on one side and not that much public transportation and, not that much in the way of retail right in this immediate area right now. So how much of a challenge is that?
Well, we have about 75,000 square feet of retail here. We're working with a number of supermarket type operators, the smaller high-end type markets to open up here. There's also pretty much every train about 4 blocks from here.
We're off to talk to the local council member, David Yaski. He'll tell us more about the park, which just recently got going after years of delays. There's been a lot of controversy about this park and the way that it's being funded through private developers. How does 1 Brooklyn Bridge Park fit into that equation in your mind?
The way it's being built is it's being built all with public dollars, but the operating costs on an ongoing basis will be paid for by 5 buildings, 1 that exists now and 4 new buildings that will pay, instead of paying property taxes to the city, they'll pay the property taxes directly to the park, and that will pay for the maintenance.
We've already seen that a judge has dismissed a lawsuit and basically said that these buildings could go forward. But do you think that there's going to be a modification to this plan? Do you think that those other new condos, which don't have developers lined up yet, are going to be scaled back in any way?
I think it'll be scaled back some. I think the basic core of the plan will go forward and we will build this park and people will come and enjoy it. I think that the buildings that are proposed at the south end are too tall as proposed. They were proposed to be up to 30 stories, and this is in this area, and particularly on that stretch of waterfront, that would really stick out.
So you don't really have a fear that there's going to be a sweetheart deal for the developers in the projects that haven't been built yet?
Well, you got to watch it like a hawk, and I have as council member, and I intend to keep doing so. You got to watch the government to make sure that they don't give away the store, because that's always a danger and always a risk.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of The Real Deal webcast. I'm Jill Gardner. Please join us again next week.